Hey guys, I just got a little break in my work with a little squall blowing through here and raining on me, so I was thinking about something while I was working and I wanted to share it. It's what has become my favorite plant to grow here, and that is papaya. So it's kind of ironic because usually I try and grow what I eat, and I don't actually like to eat papaya. I honestly think it tastes kind of like throw up. But papaya has two really important benefits to us here, and it's actually been a game changer. So how it started, when we first started, our first animal that we got, our first thing we got was chickens, but the first actual animals we got was goats. And we thought goats were gonna be easy. We love goat cheese. Neither of us eats goat, but we thought that bringing in the goats would be good for the milk and the cheese and soap, things like that. Plus goats are just cute and fun, and we thought it'd be great. What we didn't know is goats are extremely susceptible to parasites and worms. And sorry if the wind's real bad. Goats are extremely susceptible to parasites and different kinds of worms. Also, in the Caribbean, because of all this moisture and rain that we deal with every day, parasites are an even bigger problem. They thrive in the humidity, they thrive in the rain. It also creates a way for parasites to move. So parasites don't have legs. They just kind of lay there, they're nothing, they squirm around. However, when it rains, they will actually float up the water, up the blades of grass, they'll float up the water, and then when the animals come and bite off the tops of the grass, they're ingesting the parasites, and now it's a problem. Grazing animals such as cows, sheep, horses, donkeys, things like that, they get the parasites also, but they're just genetically designed better for it. Their stomach acids or whatever it is, scientifically, whatever the reason is, they manage it a lot better. They don't seem to have the problems with browsing animals such as goats, which are designed to eat things like tree leaves, tree bark, stuff like that. Now, goats, doesn't matter what they're supposed to eat, they will eat anything, and mostly they'll eat whatever is bad for them. It's just what goats do. I think goats wake up looking for a way to hurt themselves. So we had to find a solution. I did a lot of research. We tried a lot of things. And honestly, the first year and a half, we lost a lot of goats. It was terrible. Goats that we had bred, born here, raised, bottle fed, and we were losing a lot. I think we lost 15 goats to parasites, and nothing seemed to help. I mean, even medical intervention from the vets didn't seem like it would help, and I think everything has just got so immune to the treatments that they're typically given that it wasn't working. So I started looking out of the box. I found some research is done in Florida, which has a similar climate to us, and they all suggested the same thing, papaya, and specifically the papaya seeds. However, the goats, if you just give them a pile of seeds, they don't eat them as much. They love the fruit, so there's no reason not to. So to feed to the goats, I usually let it ripen. This is a green papaya, which I'll talk about in a minute, but ripen, they turn like a yellow color. They're pretty mushy, so I'll usually just throw a couple in there with the goats. I throw them in with the cattle also, since we don't grain feed our cows at all, which we only have a couple cows, so it's much easier. But to help fatten up our cows, it definitely helps. It also keeps the parasites down. The donkeys get it, and of course anything that the goats get, the chickens are in there eating, so our chickens aren't getting any kind of parasites that way. It's cleaning them out. Also nice because these things grow really well here. These things grow really well here. Currently, I think we have about 30 papaya trees going, and they're all starting to produce. A papaya tree will produce a lot of fruit when it's healthy and you get good soil on it, a lot of worm castings. This is Culebra. He's a pest. So now that we found out that we can grow these good, we feed them to the animals, and it's really working out well. So that alone has made it one of my favorites. But another big advantage on these papayas that I'm really happy about is when you're butchering your own animals or buying animals from somebody you know, and you know the work that's gone into raising that animal, you don't want to waste anything. And some of the meat on cows especially if they're like an older dairy cow, something like that, you're gonna get some tough meat. It's not gonna be good for a lot. Most people will throw it away, you know, like the rib meat has that silver skin on it that you can cut some of it off, but you end up scrapping a lot of it. However, tacos are probably my favorite food, and shredded beef tacos are amazing. So if you take the toughest, hardest meat you can find, you throw it in a slow cooker with a couple just little slices of the green papaya, like real thin, and just dice them up like 2 pieces, and you cook that with it, it'll turn it to like the best shredded beef you could ever imagine. Like there's so much flavor, so tender, it's perfect. It's one of my favorite foods. In some places you can take the papaya, cut it into slices, dehydrate it, and make it into a powder, which is actually what most of the commercial sold meat tenderizers are made out of, is papaya. However, in the Caribbean, things don't really dehydrate. They just kind of somewhere in between. So it doesn't work too well for us, but fortunately we got plenty of fresh ones, so it's not too big of an issue. So I hope this helps somebody out there, and if you need any more about it, ask me in the comments and I'll be happy to share what I do know.